Erratic weather, which some say is the result of climate change, is negatively impacting water availability and quality in St. Lucia. So the Caribbean island is moving to build resilience to climate-related stresses in its water sector. Dr. Paulette Bino, a specialist in the areas of community-based disaster risk management, climate change adaptation policy, and environmental management, said as the country seeks to adapt to climate change, it's important that every citizen not only become aware of the issue, but also have a good understanding of the matter.
The promotion of integrated water resource management is very important because it says to us that we're going to have a very coordinated effort at managing our water resources. It's important that we think outside of the box and we stop having turfs and to really work together.
Earlier this month, Bino facilitated a 3-day workshop on hydroclimatic disasters in integrated water resource management in St. Lucia. The workshop was held as part of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Reducing the Risks to Human and Natural Assets Resulting from Climate Change, OECS RAC project. Rupert Lay, water resources specialist, said the training is consistent with the overall goals of the Climate Change Demonstration Project in GIS technology currently being implemented by the OECS Secretariat.
What we need to do now in the region and even further afield is to directly correlate the effects, the financial impacts on these adverse weather conditions as it relates to water resources. We need to make that link strongly so that all of us can appreciate the extent to which and the importance of building resilience and adapting to these stresses.
On July 9, the St. Lucia Water and Sewage Company placed the entire island under a water emergency schedule as the drought situation worsened. The company said there had not been sufficient rainfall to meet the demands of consumers. Bino said what's happening in St. Lucia and elsewhere in the Caribbean is consistent with the projections of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and the Climate Modeling Group from the University of the West Indies. She noted that the models are saying there can either be too little or too much water, either of which could create serious problems for the Caribbean.
In countries where we depend on surface water, the treatment of water becomes critical. Now, you will have cost implications because water treatment is very costly, but also if you're going to treat water, you have to use a lot of energy. And energy is one of the sectors that contribute to greenhouse gases. So you can see where the impact of climate change affecting water, but with water treatment, we can also contribute to climate change.
For St. Lucia and its neighbors, Bino said lack of financial resources tops the list of challenges when it comes to disaster mitigation and adapting new measures in reference to hydroclimatic disasters. She also pointed to the importance of human capital, citing the need to have persons trained in specific areas as specialists to help with modeling and also the need for human capital.
But also social capital within the country and in which we try to ensure that all stakeholders are involved. A very democratic process because it's not only about policymakers. Every person, every household must play a role. So the whole issue of adaptation starts with the man or woman in the mirror.
Desmond Brown, IPS News, Castries, St. Lucia.